I was busy with watching an old video about Aaron Carter, who talked about the child molester case of my father, Michael Jackson, about the way the mob was willing to pay boys to lie about my father being a child pedophile, kidnapping his child by child traffic, me, Mocienne Petit Jackson, kidnapping me, make him pay for my life a lot of money, and then beat him down, that he's a predator, that he's a child abuser. I mean, a horrific crime have been done to Michael Jackson. And many people still don't want to realize that. And there's nothing that I can do in that mind of these children. And a huge crime have been done to my father and to me. And one thing I didn't really realize very well, I wrote the book, Thriller Betrayal and Thriller the Dark Side Netherlands, in my mind that American people or the world people were going to read my books when the trial was going to start with the Jackson family. I never imagined that I needed people to read my book, Thriller Betrayal and Thriller the Dark Side Netherlands, if I would be in court with the Dutch government surrounding my child traffic. I never imagined that I will be needing people to read my book, to talk about my book, so they understand the topic. And I don't know why I think it wasn't important that while I'm doing this trial, that I need people to read my book and understand the story. I cannot explain it to myself why I didn't see the necessary to promote my book hard. A lot of people are coming into my social media asking me a lot of questions, the same questions that I cannot answer in 1 minute. And yesterday I was so emotional because someone asked me question about my mother. Who's my mother? Where was my mother? My mother was a married woman when she had me, and she didn't give a F about me. And she's a professor. She's very intelligent. And she made her career for herself. And my father, Michael Jackson, I don't know. There's one funny thing I have to tell you. My father was a storyteller. When you look at the video, You Rock My World, that's how he described me. He met my mother. But the real story is absolutely different. He didn't meet my mother in a nightclub and he fell in love with her. Yes, he was in love with my mother when he was 8 years old. My mother is the older sister of Diana Ross, and that he fell in love with when he was 8 years old, Barbara Jane Ross. And he absolutely disliked this woman. She's really a bitch. So what exactly happened between my mother and Michael Jackson? I don't know. I only know that I am an oops baby. I know that my mother was having sex when I was conceived, at least with 4 men. Jermaine Jackson, Michael Jackson, an older brother, James Lee Jackson, and Mr. Beverly and Michael Jackson, 4. So my mother thought she was pregnant of James Lee, her first husband. Or my mother thought maybe she was pregnant of Mr. Beverly. But then I was born, DNA test was done, and Michael Jackson was the lucky one. He was the father. So I don't know if my parents had regular sex with each other, yes or no. I don't know. But Michael Jackson was the lucky guy. And my mother gave birth to me. I didn't look like a little bit Asian as my stepfather, James Lee. I have to tell you that my stepfathers are great human beings. But it's my mother who's a completely bitch. She's a totally fucking bitch, that woman. And she hurt him badly. She hurt him so much that when I came back to the life of my father, my father said, if Mocienne looks like her mother, I don't want to deal with her. And he was happy that I don't look like my mother at all.